Hello and welcome to the Blue Gage review of Strider on the Xbox One. I'm actually just finished this game using my new Titanfall controller. Product placement. No, I really wish they would pay me to play video games, but not yet. So I'm just got some survival gameplay to show you guys while I'm talking about the game, pretty much reviewing it. The single player had a lot of story elements. I know there's long stretches where you're just killing people and there's no real narrative driving you forward. That's my biggest complaint with this game. There's huge chunks where, the gameplay's amazing. I'll get to that in more detail, but there's huge chunks of the single player game where you get a full little cutscene where there's a character that's introduced, or a boss they're sort of hyping up the next boss fight, and you're like, oh, heck yeah, I'm getting pumped up for this. And then, I don't know, for whatever reason, I find myself running through corridors for almost an hour, and then you run into that random boss that was taunting you an hour ago. I don't know if it's just me, I need to be better at the game. I loved Strider I remember I played the original one that's sort of a goof, but the one I originally played was on PS2, and it was just pure fun. There was no deep mechanics that I remember. It was just you fucking can rip up everything with your sword, straight up. The faster you hit that square button, the faster you swung your sword, because everything just got torn apart. This game's more modernized because it has more mechanics. Not everyone can just die by your sword. You might have to switch the sword to a different element. They have a few different elements. There's ice, there's the normal vibro sword, whatever it's called. There's the fire sword, and the last one I'll let you guys look up. I don't want to just give away all the powers of the game. To get to my main problem is I wish there was more sort of narrative driving it forward. I know it's kind of a throwback to old school games that are a lot like this game. It's a throwback to the original Strider. It's great. It's a lot more difficult, I imagine, too, compared to the old Strider with the different varied enemy types. It's kind of like what they went for with God of War 3, where you have your main weapon and a few other weapons, but you're required to switch your weapon based off the type of enemy you're engaging. I like to view that as sort of a cheat in my book, because I'm if you're gonna make great AI, complex enemy types like in Halo or something like that, the AI is just smart, or they have a new sort of gimmick about them. I don't really like it when they make your character the gimmick. Here comes Frost Trolls, so you must equip Fire Sword in order to kill the Frost Trolls. And this is great gameplay. It's interesting, I guess, if there's a lot of preparation involved. I think that's kind of great in sort of a fantasy game, if you knew you're going to kill Ice Trolls, Fire Sword. But in the fast action game, I don't like running up to a guy and seeing, what does he have? Oh, he has a Fire Shield? Alright, let me select the directional button for my Ice Sword or my Fire Sword so I can destroy this guy. I don't like everything else in the game. I pretty much I don't like the sword switching types being required. That should be just a fun aspect, choosing how you want to kill people, or opening doors, which is what they primarily use for. You need to have a certain sword type in order to open the door. So those are my two gripes. I don't like switching weapons on the fly. I think that's I like the requirement of switching weapons on the fly. I'd rather fight a complex AI where I have to outsmart them rather than just select correct weapon, instant kill kind of thing. So to get to the gameplay, extremely fluid, much like the old game. They just have new mechanics where you can call in your pets based off an energy bar. I don't like how the kunais, you throw kunais, but they're based off energy too. So I'm throwing energy kunais, I guess. I don't like that. Most ninja games you can throw kunais and they're not for draining your energy. I just thought that was strange. But beyond that, it's a great game. If I just went ahead and scored it right now, 1 out of 10, I'd say this game, I'd have to give it an 8, because you have to have a little bit of drive to get to the end of it. There's long stretches of just no narratives, sort of drive, chugging along, opening various doors. Readable, but a little ridiculous type map. Fans of Castlevania might really get into this, the old school 2D Castlevania. But that's my review. 1 out of 10, I'll give it an 8. Definitely a good pickup. That's it. Thank you for watching the show. Please subscribe, and we'll see you on the next show.